Welcome to New Zealand's biggest gap year, an epic challenge that my partner Laura and I decided to tackle a few years back. We have to do 365 activities all around New Zealand in 365 days, and today is day 212 and we are in Methven and we're going to explore what the town has to offer by doing the Methven Walkway. Join me at the end of the video when I'm going to go over all the comments you guys had the first time we published it. This morning, because it's gonna be raining tonight, I am taking the time to repair the top of our camper van just so we don't get rained on. Then we are joining Wendy, which is our host at the Mount Hut Bunkhouse Hostel, for a bit of a walk. She is going to take us through the Methven Walkway. Throughout our entire stay here in Methven, Wendy's has given us heaps of stuff to do in the area, from the Washburn Falls to the Te Awa Rata Reserve. But this time we want to go somewhere where we can just walk to, just to show how accessible are some of the activities around Methven.
The walk that we're going to be doing today is the Methven Walkway, which spans about 11 kilometers around the town, taking about 3 hours to complete the whole thing. And at the beginning of the track, there's a bit of a sign to give you some warm-up suggestions, which, to be fair, we never really warm up before a walk, but since it's there, we decide to give it a go and then start stretching our legs. There are heaps of signs indicating where exactly the Methven Walkway is, so it's impossible to miss. And the start of the walkway goes through a small section of conifer forest. It's super windy today, so this forest provides really welcome shelter from that blistering wind. And among all the bird life that we see in the forest, we also find a couple of plum trees which don't taste very good.
Why do I keep trying those things? Oh, just my teeth. Oh.
This very small pine forest extends all the way from the road to the local canal. There is a big canal going through Methven because it helps moving the water from the beautiful Southern Alps to all the fields around, as Methven is primarily a farming area. This gives a very strange feel to this forest. Because it's such a narrow one, we get a ton of sunlight. So being in the middle of this really thick forest but being such in a bright environment is really unique. And one of the really cool things of walking with Wendy, which is a local of the Methven area, is that she points us a lot of things that we did not know about. We see a ton of different birds really high up in the trees. We see a ton of different plants that we've never seen before, and she tells us a lot of local stories. And throughout the whole walk through the forest, we noticed that the walk has been extremely well marked and extremely well maintained. They put a lot of work and effort into it. They even built a lot of little footbridges that pass over a very dry creek. That's the thought that counts, right? The tracks then lead us to the local canal, which is called the Rangitata Diversion Race, which helps the town get a lot of water for all the fields and the farms around.
On top of that, the canal is also used for hydroelectric power, bringing water to the local power station. But the thing that sticks out most to us is just how vibrantly blue the water is. And this is because it is taken from glacial water in the Southern Alps, which has sediments called rock flour, which is suspended in the water and giving it this sort of milky colour. Walking along the canal is definitely a highlight of the Methven Walkway. It sort of shows man's modification of the Canterbury Plains, all the while having the backdrop of the Southern Alps in the background. It looks absolutely stunning. The walkway also provides a pretty awesome option for cyclists in the area because bikes are allowed on the walkway as well, and it's a good way to actually complete the whole 11 kilometers really quickly. Admittedly, we don't do the whole 3-hour walk because there's actually some shorter sections to loop back round into the town, which we're going to be doing today. We eventually break away from the canal and start making our way back towards Methven town, where we spot a guy who is shearing sheep particularly slow, according to Wendy.
Wendy's assessment?
He's slow.
Long story short, the Methven Walkway is a great way to discover the surrounding around the little township of Methven. There's really heaps to do here, and we got really surprised during the last 5 days because we really thought there would be less for us to do. We loved our time on Methven, but it's time to move on.
It has been mission accomplished here in Methven. Methven is known for being a ski field town. No one really knows what else there is to do in this area other than go skiing at Mount Hutt or Mount Olympus or whatever is nearby. But in summer, we have managed to pack about 5 days worth of activities here. We even extended our stay here 2 nights because we found there was so much here to do.
Alright, so how about that little town of Methven? It's pretty stunning and the town has a lot to offer. As Laura was saying just before, we managed to pack quite a few things in Methven, despite the fact that it's pretty much a dormant town in summer and it only comes alive mostly in winter when all the locals from Christchurch go there for doing skiing. So yeah, I think the Methven is definitely underrated. And in fact, one of the comments that we got on the video was from Romken, that say it's pronounced Methven. So we pronounced it wrong for pretty much all the video, but again, a lot of locals were calling it Methven when we were here, so I don't know who has the final call on the pronunciation of the name of the town. Maybe we should make a call to the Methven mayor if they want to come and tell us how to pronounce the name of the town there. We'd appreciate that, so yeah, let us know if you know the Methven mayor. Another comment we got on the video was from Chasing Adeline saying another awesome video of some beautiful hikes in New Zealand. That is true. And honestly, there is so many hikes and walks to do in New Zealand and most of them are not hard. I mean, this was probably one of the easiest walk you can be doing, right? And yet you can still see a lot of really awesome sceneries. So, you know, make sure that you pack some decent hiking boots in New Zealand and you're not afraid to tackle some walks and hike because they're not that hard. Matthew M says, I love the video and it has so much information about the place. I definitely want to go tramping there one day. Yeah, so that's really what we like to do with our videos. Like, we're not doing the most amazing, beautiful videos and the best marketing or clickbait title and any of that. But we want to go down to business and give you as much information as we can, just so you are super well informed for your trip in New Zealand. And that's kind of the journalistic approach that we take as well on NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide. It's 100% free for you to use, and yeah, we put our heart and soul on there. So if you are planning a trip to New Zealand, you may want to go on nzpocketguide.com and check it out. It's definitely worth your time. And another thing that may be worth your time is hanging out with us on YouTube on Sunday at 8 AM New Zealand time. Every single week we hang out for an hour to answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand. It's called the NZ Travel Show and we've done hundreds of those already, so you may want to join us and do it with us. It's a lot of fun and yeah, we'll be able to go over all your trip questions. Alright, that's it for me today. If you want to reward all our hard work, you can hit like and subscribe. That's always a free way to say thank you for everything that we're doing for you. And in the meantime, oh yeah, you can also join us on Patreon if you want. But yeah, it costs money, so it's up to you, but you get really awesome perks. So yeah, here you go. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.